Food is something all cultures have in common. It can have flavor and looks, but also memories and traditions. This local mother is on a cooking journey and shares some of her favorite memories concerning food. Meet Danielle McCombs, a mother of two and a high school Spanish teacher.
Hi, my name is Danielle McCombs.
McCombs has not always been willing or able to cook, but now that she's learning, she often thinks about her past and present connection with food as she does so.
When we were with my dad, my favorite food memory is him, again, not really knowing how to cook, but he got to feed us. And so he would buy these thin pork chops and then he would cover them in seasoned salt and bake them in the oven forever. So these little thin pork chops would come out with the salt still on top of them, and they were like shoe leather, and we would just gnaw on them and eat them, but I mean, they were good enough. My best friend in high school, her mom and her grandma could cook. So I would just go over there and eat real good. Like, they would save me food. As soon as I showed up, they'd be like, "Your plate's in the fridge," and I'd go eat.
She was never taught how to cook by her family, and when she had the opportunity to learn from her grandmother, she did not pay much attention. But as she got older, she began learning through friends and recipes.
I wasn't actually really taught how to cook. I just kind of started trying to do things because I lived with my dad, and my dad could not cook at all. So when he wanted me to start cooking in high school, he bought like Hamburger Helper, and I just followed the directions on the box. So that's how I started cooking. I tried to learn when I was around like my grandmother and stuff, but I didn't spend a lot of time, and then half the time I didn't care enough anyways to actually really go in there and learn. As I've gotten older, I spend time with friends and lots of cookbooks and just trying things. So I'm still not necessarily a great cook, but I'm better than I was when I first started. I am cooking kale greens and rice and lentils today. My best friend is from Zambia, and she's the one who taught me how to make the kale greens. And so the first time I learned how to make greens, it's the traditional southern way, where you cook them on the stove for several hours, ham hocks, all that jazz. But Susanna takes fresh greens and does it much more quickly than leaving it cooking all day. And we use onions and tomatoes, fry that up, and then you boil a bunch of water, and then you put it over the greens for about 10 minutes, let it wilt, cook just right, it's still a little crisp, and then you mix the greens without the water with the onions and tomatoes, add some salt, and it's super delicious.
She often experiments when she cooks, but struggles with one problem.
If I don't take notes while I'm doing it, and everybody loves it, I literally forget how I made it, and then I cannot recreate it again. So I have to take notes when I'm experimenting so that I remember what not to do or what to do if it was really light.
No matter where you're from or who you were raised by, food can unite any individual.